Is it ever going to get any better out here? We're going to talk about it today. Right now, we're going to get up to Woodward, Oklahoma and load some fertilizer. Texas. So is it going to get any better out here? That is the question for today and what we're going to delve into on this video. From what I can tell, we're about 9 months into this new administration, and I had high hopes that things were going to get cheaper and things were going to get better, and it's just, to me, you want it to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen overnight, but the price of tires, the price of parts, heck, even at the grocery store, other than eggs, I'm not seeing any difference. Matter of fact, I'm seeing, to me, it seems like things are still trickling up in price. And then, of course, out here in the freight market, and the cent per mile pay has just really been stagnated and depleted. It has come down. So, and it is really hard to make it as a single truck operator when you're having to compete with a lot of bigger companies that have more trucks that can have less overhead. I say they have less overhead, and the reason why I say that is when you got 17 trucks running and they're all making money, you only have 1 or 2 hiccups on trucks, so you can cover it because you got other trucks running. When you're one truck, one guy, your truck has a hiccup, it's down for 4 days for something, you lose out on a whole week. And you get it don't take very long if you don't have a very big nest egg to get behind. So that's just what's been going through my head this week with what's been going on. We're staying steady in my particular situation. We're doing okay. We're treading water. We're not making any money, but we are cash flowing and we're doing all right. Now, another 5 to 6 weeks from now, we will start our cotton harvest off, and that looks great. Our cotton right now, y'all, knock on wood, looks awesome, and I think we're gonna have a really great year with our harvest. But what we're doing right now, we're up here at Woodward, Oklahoma, getting our load of fertilizer. Y'all know this was our gravy train. This was our deal where we really did good. And this is the first time I've been to Woodward, Oklahoma in probably 4 months. I bet you this entire year, 2025 here, in the previous 5 years, in 3 weeks time, I was here more in 3 weeks time than what I was the whole year 2025. We have not moved nothing. A lot of it is farmers are cutting back because the prices of cotton and whatnot are deflated, and the other reason is the price per ton of fertilizer is just freaking outrageous, like everything else. So we'll get to talking about that here in a little bit, about the price of light fuel and whatnot, but I'm gonna save that for the next segment. Just the price to get by today is crazy, but thank goodness we have a good cotton harvest coming up. We'll be able to do pretty good. The rates on the cotton harvest, they're okay. We got to stay competitive. It's a hometown deal, and we're trying to be fair on both sides. But the way we make money during the cotton harvest is just that we run our tails off 7 days a week for about 3 to 4 months every day. So it's not that you're making a big, you're not swinging for the fences on every load. It's just the accumulation of the loads because you do so many and for so long that it adds up pretty good. But we're almost loaded here. We got 71,000 pounds on. We're going to get loaded. We're going to head back down to Clarendon, Texas, and kick this off, and then we got to come back up here and get one more and do the same thing again. So cool front has moved in, got foggy on us coming up here. We're in the 50s, so it's pretty nice. But we'll talk about the rest of this. We'll talk some more about this when we get down there on the unload side. So the spot market freight, the rates on the spot market freight of the flatbed work we were doing back there in May were pretty decent. And I think now, here we are, September, 1st of September here, the third day of September, first part of the month of September, the rates have come down substantially in the flatbed market. So, and I think that's kind of across the board. So I think a lot of it has to do with the economy is kind of just chugging along. It's not shooting out the gate, not making big strides. I think there's still a lot of uncertainty in the general economy, you know. I mean, like we were saying earlier, prices are still high. People are not buying things. Interest rates are still high. People aren't borrowing money. Banks aren't wanting to let go of money as freely as they once were. So I think access to capital is not there like it used to be. And I think it's not a double-edged sword. It's not a triple-edged sword. It's just freaking octagon corners of a sword. Of a sword, you know. We're getting hit from all different directions. So you really got to be in a niche, you know, to really have something good. We've been putting together a few hopper bottom loads lately. I actually hauled a few last week. I mentioned it in my last video. What we call a round trip race. In other words, you're going out loaded and you're coming right back empty to reload and go right back to that place again. So that cent per mile loaded rate needs to be up high enough to when you divide it by 2 for both ways, you still have a good cent per mile revenue. Well, a lot of the stuff right now is coming out to about $3.50 to $4 a loaded mile. So that brings you down to about $1.75 to $2 all miles, which is 5 years ago, 6 years ago, $2 a mile all miles wasn't that bad. But today, at the cost of everything, it's not that good. So and it's not bad finding them $3.75, $3.50 a mile deals. The only thing bad with the hopper bottom work is you need to put something together with it. So you need to find a load coming back to kind of get you back to where you need to be. And either it's being tough to find a load to get back, or if you do get a load to get back, it's like a hassle to get it loaded and get back and get unloaded, and time to get back to the other elevator to reload and get back to where you can make a round every day. So in other words, you're getting hung up somewhere all the time. So it's been tough trying to figure that out and juggle those pieces. So luckily we fell into this data center work around here, and the belly dump rates are actually pretty good right now. I mean, they're not horrible. We're, like I say, you can cash flow with it. It's fill-in work. That's what I like to call fill-in work. So it helps us up, helps keep us moving, help keep bills paid, help all that while we're in our slow time. And so all we're doing now is just trying to get through this slow time for another month. Then we'll take about 2 weeks to get all our gen equipment ready to go and ready to get ready for this cotton harvest. So that's kind of the plans. Now, the next thing that's kicking my butts, and I went back and I looked at my fuel log from this time last year. And this number right here at the pump is almost to the T exactly what it was this time last year. We got a heck. First I thought it was water, but we got a heck of a diesel spill out here. Might be why it's still high. Everybody's spilling diesel, but I don't think that's it. So I dug back in my paperwork from last year, this time last year, my fuel logs, to look to see what we were paying for the price of diesel this time last year. And virtually the same. Guess when it was different? A good looking Pete right here, right quick. Ignore my ADD, but I'm attracted by shiny objects. What can I say? So, virtually we're paying the same thing we were this time last year, except for the last few weeks. The last few weeks in October to about the middle of December or so, it dropped. But guess what was going on? The election. That sounds good. So yeah, so I got on ChatGPT and we ran some numbers, and here are the results. Before we look at that chart, y'all remember, some of y'all that are old enough to remember anyway, me being one of those guys. I was in high school at the time, but Ross Perot was a pretty chart happy guy. So just here's a little clip of Ross Perot.
Started studying the industries in Arkansas, and I'll sum it up right here. The governor talks about all these dramatic improvements in employment and jobs and what have you that he's created in Arkansas. Let's take a quick look at it. 1 out of 5 jobs in the last 12 years created in Arkansas has been created in the poultry business. Now, this is not an industry of tomorrow. This is honest work. It is hard work. The people that do it are world-class people. But if we decide to take this level of business creating capability nationwide, we'll all be plucking chickens for a living.
So I got the chart here on the phone. So I asked ChatGPT to give us some comparisons from this time last year and this year on gasoline cost, price of crude oil per barrel, West Texas Intermediate, and the price of diesel. So what we came up with is 2024. This week last year, the price of crude oil was $68.58 a barrel. This year, it is $63.50 a barrel. So crude oil is down 7.4% from last year. The price of diesel last year. Now this is nationwide averages. Of course, here in the Texas Panhandle, it's a little cheaper. You know, we kind of typically have the cheaper diesel prices in the region, in our part of the world. So, but the national average last year was $3.63 a gallon, and the national average for this year is $3.73 a gallon. That's a 2.9% increase over the year. Now, gasoline, I don't have the percentages on here. It has a little. Gasoline, I don't have the percentages. It don't, this chart don't, gasoline is up. We don't have the prices on there, but gasoline is up also 0.5%. So I put why, it says on here why fuel didn't drop with the price of crude oil. It says refining margins are staying strong. High diesel demand, trucking and harvest going on, which same thing was going on this time last year. Taxes and distribution costs, and global diesel supply tightness, and local crude softness. Now I think ChatGPT is pulling a lot of this off internet sources, and I think it's a lot of crap. You know, on the there's not enough supply, or we're using too much, we're using more. That's the excuse you hear every year. And the price of gasoline, I know at the pump, just looking at it, gasoline has fell quite a bit since the election. Diesel has not at all. And so I went back and, like I said earlier, went back on my fuel logs from this time last year, and it's virtually unchanged. And I'll try to put a graphic of that. I'll actually show a little video of my fuel log from last year. I'll pull it out. So I also think that the tariffs, you know, have a big play in a lot of this, you know, especially on like the tires, especially if you buy Chinese tires. But I guarantee there's a bunch of components that go into even American-made tires that are taxed. That's making our tires go up too. So I talked to my tire guy the other day, and he said yes, these double coin drive tires I bought, they're Chinese tire. I think they went up 20% or so, and dang good drive tires for a Chinese tire. They wear good, and they're priced right. So I don't know. The prices of everything it's just still ridiculous, and we're going to have to get some stuff done to get it better. And I know they're trying. There's our buddy Roberto. We came back to a line here. We got a heck of a line waiting to get into the plant. I haven't seen it like this in a long time, and of course I haven't been up here in a long time either, so I've probably just been missing out on it. I have one more little topic I'd like to talk about in this video, and it has a little bit to do with price. But after we get loaded here in a little bit, and I get back down to Clarendon to unload, we'll talk about that topic there. So, but if you are enjoying this video and you're getting some substance out of it, go down there and hit that like button for us, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment of what you think the problem is with the economy right now. If you think there's a problem, or if you think we just need to give it a little more time and let it exacerbate and work the kinks out, which I hope is what's going to happen. But go down there and let me know what you think about it, and tell us what would be your solution to the problem. We just got unloaded here in Clarendon, and I was going to talk about our last little subject here, but before I forget, shout out to our buddy Eric Bitts. He's got a truck. He runs for Bennett. I don't know if it's motoring, transport, whatever, but they do a lot of heavy haul stuff, and he actually had a truck built. I guess it's been about 2 years now, by the semi-casual guys out there. So if I remember, I'll try to put a picture or a video in here right quick of the truck. Great guy, cool guy, but he sent myself, my wife, and my grandson some t-shirts, and I'm wearing the one today, so y'all probably seen it in the videos. Got a picture of the truck on the back with an oversized load. He does a lot of oversized work, and it's got the Bennett name on the front here. Try to get a better picture of it too and put on here. But man, Eric, if you're watching, we really do appreciate it, buddy. And y'all go follow him on TikTok. He's just look up Eric Bitts. He's on there, and let him know that we sent you over there to him. So we're on the road here. We're about to get on the road, head her home, and I'm going to talk briefly about this last topic because it's been on every YouTube trucker's channel in the last few weeks, and it's going to be kind of beating a dead horse, but I'm just going to give you my quick opinion and my quick 2 cents on it. And what I'm talking about are the work visa or temporary work status CDL holders. And what, I don't fault nobody for coming to this country to try to better themselves at all. But what I don't like is when you come to our country and you take advantage of the system and you put hard-working Americans that have to make a real living and have to support a family, you take work away from them. And that's what I feel like is happening with the Punjabi culture, whatever you want to call it. So, these guys come over here from India. They put put 4 guys to a truck. They haul freight for pennies on the dollar compared to what a normal truck would normally haul it for. You know, $1.15, $1.20, $1.15, $1.20 a mile, and there's 4 of them in the truck, and the truck never stops. So yeah, we could run teams, but you know, running teams ain't for everybody. And we could compete, but you cannot compete with 4 drivers. And from what I've heard, and I'm paraphrasing here on what I've heard, I'm no subject matter expert, but from what I've read and from what I've heard from other people in the industry, is these guys will come over here for about 5 years. They will just hammer on it for 5 years, live out of that truck. They split the truck payment between all 4 of them, and then they send all their money home. Well, they make enough money in them 4 or 5 years that they can go back to India and retire. And, you know, we don't have that luxury here. We have to pay for a house, we have to pay our utilities, we have to pay taxes, and it's not cheap. So, yeah, and a lot of the advocates for them say, well, you can go find another job, you live here. No, I love my job. I love trucking. This is me. It's not a job to me, it's a lifestyle. And I would not want to do anything else. Besides that, I'm almost 50 years old. I could go be a mechanic again, but my body can't go be a mechanic again. I could do it, but it sure would be hard on me crawling around on a concrete floor all day. My knees are getting bad, my shoulders are getting bad, and just getting to that age, I'm kind of falling apart, I feel like. But I've been pretty rode hard and put up wet my whole life. I've worked 100 hours a week since I was in high school. And I know that might be laughable to some of y'all, but literally, I had a lot of different jobs in high school, and if you count school, going to school every day too, I had 100 hours a day of putting work in through high school. So, it's all I've ever done, it's all I've ever known. I was too stupid to go to college, do anything too poor to go to college. That's why I had to go to the military. But, so, I really, you know, you keep hearing on all these mother truckers and all that crap, and all they're about to put a stop to it. It's all talk. How long does it take DC to implement a policy, you know? They can get up there and talk all they want, but it's going to get litigated in court, and it's never going to happen. Besides that, and to be honest, if you took all those guys out of circulation in the trucking industry, it would be a nightmare. I mean, these guys run reefers and drive-ins. Probably 95% of their work that they do are reefers and drive-ins. And people would starve. Them groceries would not get moved. And you can say all you want, well, they're taking the job of another hard-working American that wants that job. No, if they wanted that job, them jobs would be here. They would be working. We have created a culture in our society now that there's whole generations of kids that have come up that are my age that have been on welfare their whole life, and that's the only way they know how to live. They don't know, and it's really no fault to their own, because they've been that way since they were born, and it's all they know. They don't know any different. So there's going to have to be a big shift in our culture, and it's going to be like a body slam from y'all remember the what was the name of that? My favorite tag team bunch back in the day. Them guys from Chicago, the word of man, Hawk and Animal, Road Warriors. They're gonna be. We need something like that's not gonna, like the Road Warriors coming in and taking out the British Bulldogs in 32 seconds. You know, it's just bam, and out of the ring they go. Something like that major is going to have to happen for our culture to change, and it's not going to happen overnight. I don't even know if it'll happen at all. So me and myself, I'm not too worried about it. I said I'll be 50 in 3 months. My better days are gone. My better days have been lived and gone. But what I do worry about is my kids and my grandkids. know, that's going to take a lot of jobs. You know, all these people that are doing these data entry jobs and these computer jobs, these desk jobs, are going to be the first to go. And the trades are the ones that are going to blow up. Them are going to be the next $1 million people. A guy that can go lay pipe under a house, you know, a person that can run cable, you know, go out there and weld a pipeline, you know, them kind of jobs are the ones that are going to be big. And yeah, autonomous welders will probably come on and take a lot of that too, but there's a lot of situations that you still need a person, and if a person's got to go work in that situation, it's going to pay big money when that happens. It's something autonomous can't do. So it's one thing I like about my niche in trucking. You know, them guys hauling grapefruits from Florida to California, those jobs are going to be the first jobs taken by the autonomous vehicles, self-driving trucks. Now us, out here driving out into the middle of a pivot to a 3,500 gallon tank with pivot ruts this deep, you can't do that in an autonomous truck. You can do it probably, but you're going to have fender skirts, you're going to have stuff tore all off of that thing. It's just going to be a mess. So, and I'm not saying that it won't ever go away, but it's going to be, this line is going to be one of the last to be taken. So, and by then, I plan on being retired and just piddling at the house. So, and that's if it happens fast. Because within the next 5 years, I plan on just doing this part-time. Probably just go get a job at the city and work there during the spring and summer. And then when it's ginning season, cotton harvest, I'll do like my grandpa did and just run the truck during cotton harvest, and that's it. And then maybe on the weekend somebody needs some hay moved or needs something, a piece of equipment moved or something like that, do something like that, but just sparingly. So with the money situation, you know, and another thing I didn't touch on is a lot of them companies, you know, there's 4 or 5 carrier entities, you know, addressed to an apartment somewhere in Fresno, California, you know. And every time these guys don't make one trip out, they got their dry erase board on the side of the truck, they got a new DOT number coming back because, you know, most likely it's an insurance deal. They probably just pay just enough to be insured for a month or something, and the insurance is too damn high, so they make another carrier entity and then motor carrier entity and then redo it again, you know, over and over. It's just a vicious cycle. And then the brokers, these guys, these broker authority folks, they're overseas now. People overseas are controlling our load boards and our freight rates here, and they're giving preferential treatment to these temporary work status visa holders and not giving them to the American drivers. So, and the big companies, the mega carriers are just as much to blame. I mean, because they have the power to lobby and stop all that, but they're not going to do it because what's out front? The enemy of my enemy is also my friend. So what do the mega carriers want? They want guys like me out of the freaking way, out of business, right? So do the foreign drivers want us out of the way so they can have free reign out here. But I tell you what, it's not going to happen 100%. And by God, I will advocate for the small trucker till the day I'm in the ground 17 miles down the road here. So, with that being said, I know this video is a little different than what I normally do. I appreciate everyone watching, and like I said, give this video a like if you got a little something from it. If you hated it, didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Either way, let me know. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all. We're gaining on that 10,000 subscriber mark, so share this video out to who you know. And let's see if we can hit that. I'd like to try to hit that 10,000 mark by the end of the year. not to get out there was supposed to get it done. And we are about to get busy, so y'all know how I am during cotton season. The posts are kind of few and far between because I just don't have time to edit because we're working 7 days a week. So with that being said, I'm gonna get on down the road here. I got to drop this tanker, get back under the rock bucket, and we're gonna go hard rock tomorrow. So keep the shiny side up and a hammer down. And Eric, appreciate the shirts, buddy. Y'all have a good day. Got a broke down cow truck. Transloading right there on the side of the highway. Damn it. Glad he got somebody there to get them animals off though.